Hi everyone, my name is Andrea Suarez. I am the Digital Marketing Manager here at Waste Consultants. Today we're going to talk about a question we get pretty frequently. Is industrial recycling an option for me? There are a couple ways to tell, and we are going to dive into that today. So, industrial recycling could be an option for you if you have a qualifying product. Many manufacturing companies especially have found more profitability by selling byproduct that is created in the process of creating another product. You and your company might want to consider industrial recycling if you have waste, recycling, and landfill costs, want to reduce raw material expenses, and produce byproduct materials. So we're going to go through each of these categories. First one, if you have waste, recycling, and landfill costs, you could stand to save. So if you spend more than $10,000 a month on your waste and recycling expenses, there's a 90% chance that you're already overspending on them. Rates likely aren't capped. You may need different equipment or service levels, and you may be locked into long contract lengths. Most companies we've worked with have overspent in at least one of these ways. So there are almost certainly overt ways you're unintentionally overpaying, but there are also less obvious ways as well. Your hauler is paid to pick up your trash, not to find cost-cutting waste solutions. So for most of the manufacturing companies we work with, we explore adding revenue streams by adding recycling. And this is not typically a solution that a lot of haulers are going to volunteer. It could be a hidden revenue opportunity worth thousands of dollars. Too many corporations send their waste to landfills or special processing facilities because they don't realize they can profit from that waste. They're throwing the money away and they have no idea. Recycling waste and reusing it can be financially beneficial in multiple ways. So for example, certain kinds of waste can be recycled and be used as a renewable energy source to run your company. Or if you own a company that produces a large amount of excess oil, those oils can be used to generate electricity and ultimately help heat and cool your facility or facilities. Once the oil is processed, it can also be used to run engines and machines that are used during the manufacturing process. So, second way that you might be able to save by employing industrial recycling. So if you want to reduce raw material expenses. Manufacturing companies across many industries have recently explored ways to reuse and recycle their byproducts in order to increase sustainability efforts and profitability. Estee Lauder has recycled a whopping 85% of their waste to produce new beauty products in recent years. Nike has been producing new shoes over the past few years from their waste materials, thus reducing their need for raw materials. But these large companies aren't outliers. Smaller manufacturing facilities, particularly those who process metal, have found that they can save roughly $1,300 a ton just by recycling those byproducts. So even construction companies can benefit from industrial recycling. Recycling HDPE plastics, bottles, plastic bags, boxes are typically paid at a rate of $250 a ton. Recycling PET materials from packaging, polyester, can reduce up to $150 a ton. Over the span of time, that adds up. Many companies are taking this approach because, according to a recent study, companies are saving 90% of their energy required to produce new materials and products. Finding new sustainable solutions to old problems isn't just more profitable, it's smarter. So, last section, producing byproduct materials. It's entirely possible that with every trip to the dump, you are throwing away hundreds of dollars. Is this something your company can afford? Adding a recycling stream can reduce your waste output, which can doubly benefit your bottom line. First, by reducing the amount of waste, you'll spend less on pickups and trips to the dump site. And by selling those byproducts that were destined to go to a waste facility, you've created a revenue stream, which ultimately, of course, adds to your bottom line. So how to know if industrial recycling is right for you? Industrial recycling options will depend on your industry, the materials you produce, and the vendors available to you, and of course, whether there is a need or a demand for those byproducts you produce. Markets for recycling fluctuate. In recent years, for instance, China has stopped accepting U.S. plastic for recycling, so some kinds of plastic are no longer a viable recycling option on the industrial scale. The rates for metals and oils fluctuate with market demand, product availability, ease of transport, and a host of other variables. If you have a byproduct that is marketable and several area buyers who are willing to bid for it, you'll likely be in a situation where you can easily add a revenue stream. But some byproducts are just not as easily sold or have to have specialized buyers. Again, it all depends on your industry and your waste streams, which is why our audits are thorough and uniquely tailored to your needs. So, industrial recycling is an option for you if you have waste recycling and landfill costs, if you want to reduce raw material expenses, and if you produce those byproduct materials. These are all really good indications that this industrial recycling is an option for you.